Hey there, and welcome to the Do Life Big podcast. This podcast is going to be your jam if you want to live to your full potential and don't believe in half-assing anything in your life. If we want to do life big, that means we've got to get out of our own way because we only have this one shot to make it awesome. I'm your host, Kathy, and I'm a mom of three whose BFF is cold brew, a retired school teacher turned online entrepreneur, and an author. I'm loud, bold, and will always keep it real. I'm determined to live my best freaking life possible, and I'm here to help you do the same. I'll be packing this podcast with tips, motivation, inspiration, and strategies to finally get you where you want to go. And we will have a ton of laughter along the way because, let's be honest, we can't ever take ourselves too seriously, right? I'm so excited you are here with me today. Now let's get this party started. Hey, my friend, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of Do Life Big. Today is going to be a really awesome episode because we are going to be talking about how we can access our true potential by doing a deep cleaning. Now, you know how good it feels, right? To every once in a while, go through and purge your closets, or, you go through your house and you just get rid of all the stuff, like all the crap that's just been laying around that you haven't used forever, that you may not have even known was there. And you just get rid of it because it's just not serving you anymore, right? I've been doing the exact same thing, specifically in terms of going through like the kids' rooms, for example. Now that all three kids are in school all day long, I'm like, good, this is great. Now I can finally go through their closets. I can finally go through each of their rooms one at a time and just purge and just get rid of all the clothes, that don't fit them anymore and donate them, and all the toys that are broken or are missing pieces. And I need to go through my closet too. As I'm recording this in my closet, I'm looking around being like, this closet really needs to happen next, just to have the opportunity to be able to go through and get rid of all the things that we don't use or need anymore. So today we're going to be specifically talking about a deep cleaning, but a deep cleaning not in terms of necessarily your house specifically, but more of you as a person. Everything that pertains to you. I'm talking about your thoughts specifically. I want you to take a while to just look around and ask yourself, do I need this? Is this serving me? Can you let it go? So specifically, we'll be touching on your thoughts and your habits and your relationships and how we can purge the things in those three areas that are no longer serving us or propelling us forward and moving us closer to where we want to be. So imagine that every little thing that you own, from your car to your house to the pens and all the random things that you have just laying around in that drawer in your kitchen. I'm thinking of mine right now. Everything. Just imagine now that each little thing occupies a little piece of space in your mind. Each little thing owns a small piece of your brain. It's taking up space. How much of our brain is really scattered all over the place because of this stuff, all of this crap, right? All these random things. How can we make things simpler for ourselves, right? What if we could get rid of all these things that aren't serving us anymore? How much better would that make us feel? So if it's not serving me and if it's not serving you, then there's no reason to have it anymore. And when I talk about, is this serving you? What I mean is it helping you get to where you want to go in life? And so if it's not helping you, then there's no real reason why we should keep holding on to it. But I know how it is to hold on to things and almost like hoard things and think, well, I don't want to get rid of this right now because maybe in the future I will need this thing that I've had tucked away in my closet for like 17 freaking years. Right? It's like, you don't really need it, but you had that thought, well, maybe I will. You never know. Maybe I should hold on to it. Just purge those things. Why not just let go of those things, right? Now, I'm not talking about being a minimalist here when I'm saying purge and get rid of all these things. What I'm talking about is just making things more simpler so we can have more mental space. That's what's so important. It's funny when I talk about being a minimalist, when we first moved to this house here in Florida, and I was doing all these workouts and I was filming myself and I was putting them up on my Instagram stories. And I had this message from someone and she said, "Oh my gosh, there's like nothing in that room. What are you, a minimalist?" And it was just because we were really slow to furnish this house, far from being a minimalist. Now I look around and I'm like, holy moly, it's time to start to get rid of some things here. The less, the better. But, anyways, I'm digressing. All too often, we hold on to these things that we really don't need anymore. And these could be physical things, these could be thoughts, these could be other people. And because we think that we may need it later on in life. But really, what it's doing is just weighing you down in life. And when you purge, I don't know if you've ever gotten rid of things and purged and just like gone on like a cleaning spree for anything in any area, right? Your garage, your house, a closet, whatever. Don't you feel like so much lighter and so much better? And you feel so much more mental clarity. You can move faster. You just feel overall like light, and I feel so much better. And when you do that, life becomes more effortless and you can think quicker on your feet. Now, if you've never done this before, trust me, I'm telling you, when you do it for the first time, you're going to feel like a whole new person. You're going to feel like a different person, a better person. So here's what you're going to do. I want you to take one day and just get rid of everything that is not serving you or propelling you to get better. Now, this isn't just physical cleaning. While that is good and you should do that, that is definitely a part of it. The more important piece and what we're going to focus on is that mental and emotional deep cleaning. And so when I talk about getting rid of all those old pens that don't work anymore, for example, that have been sitting in that kitchen drawer, that's great, but what I'd prefer that you do is that you get rid of that toxic relationship that's been lingering around. You know, just because you've known this person for a long time or since middle school, right? If it's toxic, you need to protect your own mental well being. You keep thinking in your mind how you've known this person for so long, or oh my gosh, like it would be mean to not be friends with this person anymore. But then there's also this part of you that knows that they're holding you back. And when you do hang out with this person, you leave the situation feeling worse, right? That's what I'm talking about. Or even just talking crap about yourself. Like that's not going to serve you. So that awareness of being like, is the way I'm talking to myself helping me or is it hurting me? Even just having that awareness is huge. Listen, I apologize if I sound off this episode. My throat is all sore and scratchy. Anyways, hitting your goals is hard enough, but if you're mean to yourself, it's going to make it 10 times harder, right? It'd be like as I was trying to run the Boston Marathon back in 2009, which I like almost died doing. Literally, a guy with an oxygen tank was passing me, which I did say, well, of course he's passing me. He's got an oxygen tank. Anyways, it'd be like as if I was trying to run this Boston Marathon back in 2009. Someone was punching me in the face at the same time, right? Like, why make something that's already hard harder for you? So think about what goes on inside your own head. How are you talking to yourself? Would you ever say these things to someone that you loved and cared about? Because all too often, we are our own worst critics. And this is where your thoughts in your head really, it is the most important indicator of the kind of life that you want to live and the kind of person that you want to be. And that is why I'm so big on practicing and teaching people how to change the way that they think. And so if you have not grabbed my free guide that I've put together that has 19 of the most common limiting beliefs, negative thoughts that people think about themselves in their mind, and how to replace them with the more empowering positive belief, then you should definitely go check it out and snag it today. You can just go to kathyreuter.com/think this, not that. I will make sure it's in the show notes, but so important. What fears do you have? Are they helping or are they hurting you? And listen, you might have a ton of different thoughts that you need to let go of, but just focus on one at a time because it's not easy. These ways of thinking about yourself have become habits and a part of who you are, but they can be changed. So, one at a time, and please remember to just please be patient with yourself. That's key. Give yourself some time. Maybe you're a pessimism and you can start to think, is this really helping me to get to where I want to go? Or is it hurting me to be more pessimistic? So spend a lot of time thinking about how you talk to yourself. What are those thoughts that you think on a regular basis? And maybe you're someone who doesn't talk crap about yourself. Maybe you don't do that. But maybe when you have these ideas of things that you want to do, you start to think, yeah, I mean, I would really love to be able to do that, but I really just don't know what I'm doing and I'm not really a motivated person. So you constantly talk yourself out of the things that you initially wanted to try. Is that mindset helping you or hurting you? So that mental deep cleaning that I'm talking about, I honestly believe is the most important. And so we just touched on our thoughts, and now we're going to just touch on our habits. Now, after thinking about the thoughts, now we can look at what are our habits? Because 47% of what you do on a daily basis is because of your habits. So, can we start to become more aware of what those daily habits are? So let's look at our habits. For example, if you have a habit of waking up early in the morning to get your workout in or to journal, that's definitely a habit that you want to keep. That's a good habit. That's going to move you closer to where you want to go. It's serving you. Keep that habit. But if you have a habit of sitting on the couch at 11 p.m. at night and shoving Twinkies down your throat, well, that habit is really not going to serve you. That's not going to help you get to where you want to go. So you can start to think about all these daily habits from the moment that you wake up until the moment you go to bed at night and go through each one. Is this one helping me or is this one hurting me? And then let go of the ones that aren't serving you anymore one by one. And then the next category that we want to talk about are our relationships. And this is a big one. And this one can sometimes be very difficult and it can also be triggering for some people. But go through each person that you know and you have a relationship with and ask yourself, is this relationship helping me or is it hurting me? And this could be anyone. This could be a friend, this could be family, it could be a significant other, it could even be the people that you follow on social media. If someone is holding you back in life, if someone is talking down to you or making you feel less than, if they make your life less peaceful, no matter who they are, there should be an opportunity that if you want to, you can let them go. You can distance yourself because some people are just toxic. You never really know what other people are going through. And so, you might be someone who has, like myself, who has, a great relationship with your parents, like I do with mine. But there are a lot of other people who aren't as fortunate. They're not in those same situations. So you should start to distance yourself away from those people. When I'm talking about distancing yourself, even from people on social media, I remember when I started my very first business, it was my online health and fitness business about 9 years ago. And I remember I chose from the beginning not to follow any of the top entrepreneurs in that industry because I did not want to fall into the comparison game. And I didn't want to feel like I had to be like those people to build a successful business. I didn't want to get caught up in this, oh, well, I have to do exactly what they're doing, or I have to share the way that they're sharing, or I have to look the way that they look, and I have to act the way that they have to act. I didn't want to have that enter my mind. I didn't want to get caught in that comparison trap. I just wanted to do it my way and be me. So I chose not to follow any of them. And I always joke about it because, you know, my husband and I still joke about it to this day because he would mention certain top entrepreneurs in the industry and I would be like, "Who is that?" And he'd be like, "Kathy, how could you not know who this?" I'm like, "Well, I don't follow them." I'm not going to go down that trap. So literally my husband would know more about who these top entrepreneurs were in the industry and I didn't know who they were. So ask yourself, maybe the people that you're following, is it helping you or hurting you? Right? And you can do this also. Like I know we went over, the main components that I really wanted to touch on, which was, a deep cleaning on our thoughts and on our habits and on our relationships. But you can literally do this and should do this with everything and anything. You can do this for the food that you have in your house, the money that you spend and how you spend it, what you spend it on, how much TV you watch, your technology. Maybe you're spending too much time watching TV every day. Could you maybe start to get rid of doing it that much? Or what about how much time you spend on social media? Do you need to maybe take it off your phone And the good thing is too is that with the social media thing, if you try taking it off your phone and try limiting your time, you could always just try it for like 30 days, see how you do. If you don't like it, just put it back on your phone and go right back to what you were doing before. But, personally myself, I don't aimlessly scroll on social media. And I did back in the day get really stuck down that habit of just, getting going down that rabbit hole where you're looking at one thing and one thing leads to the next. The next thing you know, it's like 45 minutes and I haven't done anything productive. Now I only go on social media for my business stuff, right? Put my podcast things up, making posts, making reels, all pertaining to my business. And the last thing I want to say is, and this is a big one, think about like your vision and your goals for your life, right? Maybe there are some things that you had on your vision board for the year that just don't align anymore. You could go through and you could change those. But what we're really trying to do here is to clear out anything that does not serve you or propel you to where you want to go, or it isn't helping bring you closer to the type of person who you want to become. And this is how you can really access your true potential. You can access your true potential by going through a deep cleaning of all these different areas in your life, physical, and not only just physical, but your thoughts, your habits, your relationships, everything. And so we don't want anything getting in the way of us accessing our true potential. So if you've never done this before, do it this upcoming weekend. Take a day, pick a day, Sunday, whatever. And yes, it's going to be a lot of work, but you know what? So is creating the kind of life that you want. And you'll have so much more mental clarity after doing this. This is how you access your true potential. And I'm all about that. And I'm all about constantly trying to improve, constantly trying to get better, and constantly trying to share my tips that can help you do life big and live your best life too. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. So thankful to have you here. You know I love you. I think you're awesome. And I will see you the next time. Bye. Thanks so much for listening in. I really appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with me today. You totally rock. Hey, listen, if you loved today's episode, go ahead and tag me on social and go share this with a friend right now. Do it immediately before the day gets ahead of you and you totally forget. Couldn't be more pumped to be on this journey with you guys. Go make today awesome, and I will see you the next time.